My name is Jessica Moore. I'm 30 years old. On the day I graduated from Penn State, my father stood at the reception and raised his glass. But the toast wasn't for me. It was for my sister, Rachel, who wasn't even graduating that year. He announced in front of 60 guests that Rachel had just been accepted into a PhD program at Johns Hopkins. Then he looked at me and said, "Jessica, maybe one day you'll find something you're actually good at." Everyone laughed. My mother smiled and nodded. I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I just memorized every face in that room. They think I disappeared because I was broken. They don't know I disappeared because I finally understood. I was never going to win a game they had rigged from the start. 7 years later, my parents sent Rachel to find me. What she uncovered made them realize they had made a terrible mistake. But by then, it was already too late. I was born in 1995, 3 years after Rachel. Middle child, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Suburban, middle class. I remember the dinner when I was 8. I'd won 3rd place in the school art contest. A drawing of our backyard garden. Blue ribbon. My father glanced at it for maybe 2 seconds. "That's nice, sweetie," he said. Then he turned to Rachel. "Tell your mother about the letter you got today." She was 11. "I got into the gifted program," she said quietly. My mother gasped. My father hugged her. "Rachel, we always knew you were special." Then, almost as an afterthought, "Jessica, go set the table." I already did. He didn't hear me. The next morning, I found my drawing in the kitchen trash, the blue ribbon still pinned to it. 4 years later, Rachel won 1st place at the state science fair. The local paper ran a photo. My parents on either side, all grinning. That same month, I placed honorable mention at the county fair for water purification using sand filters and charcoal. My parents didn't come. Later, I heard my mother on the phone. "Rachel's picture is in the Herald. Oh, Jessica. She did something with water, got a certificate." Rachel found me in my room that evening, handed me a Snickers. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Rachel turned 19 in summer 2011. My parents bought her a new Honda Civic through a party in the driveway. "Rachel earned this," my father said. I turned 16 3 months later. "You can use the Corolla when it's available," my mother said. The 2004 Corolla with duct tape on the mirror was almost never available. I walked 2.3 miles to my library job, saved every paycheck in a mason jar under my bed. By 17, Rachel was applying to PhD programs. My parents proofread her essays, paid a consultant. I applied to 3 schools, got into all 3. They didn't review a single essay. When I chose Penn State, my mother said, "That's fine, not everyone is cut out for research like Rachel." Over 4 years of college, my parents contributed $12,000 to my tuition. Rachel's undergrad, $55,000. I worked 20 hours a week, took out loans, graduated with a 3.4 GPA in communications and $82,000 in debt. Rachel graduated summa cum laude with 0 debt. May 13, 2017, Saturday, 2 p.m., the ceremony at the Bryce Jordan Center. I scanned the crowd as I walked across the stage, found my parents, row 18. My father was on his phone. My mother was digging through her purse. Rachel waved at me. She was the only one who saw me cross. The reception was at Lorenzo's Italian Grill. Private room, 60-plus guests. My parents paid $28 per person. Rachel and her boyfriend sat at the head table. I sat at a side table with 2 cousins I'd met maybe 3 times. At 7:14, my father tapped his glass. "Rachel has just been accepted into the PhD program at Johns Hopkins." Applause. Then he turned to me. "And Jessica graduated today too, communications degree." A pause. Maybe one day you'll find something you're actually good at. 17 people laughed. My mother smiled and nodded. Rachel's face went pale. I sat there, smiled, clapped when everyone else clapped, memorized every face. I left at 8:30. No one noticed. Rachel texted at 9. "Jess, I'm so sorry. Call me." I didn't respond. I walked back to my empty dorm, sat on the bare mattress, opened my laptop, and created a new email account. Then I started searching how to build an online business anonymously. Audiobook narration, freelance, podcast editing. Tracked every cent I had left, $3,500. Calculated I could survive 3 months, maybe 4. On June 3, 2017, I bought a one-way Greyhound ticket to Seattle. $186. 2 suitcases. My mother texted, "Where are you staying?" I typed back, "West Coast." 3 weeks of silence. Then, "Okay, let us know if you need anything." They didn't ask which city. They didn't ask for an address. They didn't call. Seattle felt like another planet. I found a studio on Capitol Hill through Craigslist. $1,150 a month. The landlord didn't ask questions. 1 room, a bathroom so narrow I had to stand sideways. I slept on an air mattress, set up recording equipment in the closet. Taught myself audio editing. Created profiles on Upwork and Fiverr. First month, $1,200. By December, $3,500 a month. I worked 12-hour days, 6 days a week. Rachel called 23 times between June and December. I answered twice. "I'm fine, I'm working." I never called her later. March 8, 2018, 9:14 p.m. My phone rang. Pennsylvania area code. "Jessica, thank God." My father's voice cracking, my mother crying in the background. "It's Rachel. She's sick. They found an ovarian tumor. She needs surgery, but insurance denied the claim. We need $15,000. I looked at my bank account. $18,500. "Jessica, this is life or death. She's your sister." I closed my eyes. "Okay, I'll send it." The next morning, I wired $15,000. My rent for the next 5 months, my cushion, my safety. Gone. 3 days later, I texted my father. "Did Rachel's surgery go okay?" Green bubble. I called. Straight to voicemail. I tried 5 more times. Then I understood. They had blocked me. I sat on the floor and stared at the wall for an hour. Then I opened my laptop, created a folder labeled Insurance, saved the wire receipt, screenshots of green messages. I had a feeling I'd need it. March 2018 to July 2025. 7 years. I changed my number, didn't give it to my parents or Rachel, tried reaching her through Johns Hopkins. Her email bounced back. I stopped trying. I worked, moved to a smaller studio, ate ramen 4 nights a week. 2018 income, $38,000. 2019, $61,000. 2020, $98,000. By 2021, I incorporated Hayes Audio Network, LLC. Hayes was my grandmother's maiden name, the only person in my family who had ever been kind to me. I hired my first employee. By October 2022, I had 5 employees. Revenue hit $1.1 million. Moved to Portland. By December 2024, 12 full-time employees, 8 contractors, 85,000 subscribers. I wasn't hiding, I was building. July 22nd, 2025. My attorney called. Cascade Media Group wants to buy 65% of your company. $9.8 million. $6.5 million cash up front. I looked out the window at the Portland rain. I need to say yes. July 25th. I was making coffee when I heard a knock. Looked through the peephole. Rachel. Older, tired, dark circles. She held a cold Starbucks cup. Jess, I just need to know you're okay. I opened the door. She stared like she wasn't sure I was real. Mum and Dad asked me to check on you. They said, you haven't answered their calls in years. I almost laughed. They blocked me 7 years ago, March 2018, 3 days after I wired them $15,000. Her face went blank. What? They said you stopped answering. She didn't know. I let her in, told her everything, the call, the money, the blocking. Rachel's hands were shaking. I never had surgery, she said slowly. In March 2018, I was visiting Grandma. She fell. I wasn't even sick. I opened my laptop, showed her the wire receipt, the green messages, my father's voicemail. Rachel's sick. Life or death. She listened, pale. They used me. They used my name to con you. August 2nd. Rachel sent me her medical records from Johns Hopkins. No surgery, no tumor, nothing but a routine checkup. She texted, no surgery, no tumor. They used me as a lie. I replied, don't confront them yet. We need more. She dug. 2 weeks later. Dad has a gambling problem. Casinos, sports betting. They've refinanced the house 3 times. Underwater by $32,000. Credit card debt $28,000. Casino debt around $67,000. They're drowning. September 4th. Rachel was at work, a corporate law firm in Seattle. A senior partner dropped a new case file on her desk. Cascade Media Group is acquiring a content company called Hayes Audio Network. Review the incorporation documents. Registered agent address, my Portland address. Founder, J.S. Hayes. She Googled it. Anonymous audio entrepreneur. Estimated valuation $7.5 million. Then she cross-referenced. Jessica Sarah Hayes, J.S. Hayes. She called me that evening. You're J.S. Hayes. You built a $7.5 million company, and they have no idea. Long pause. Why didn't you tell me? Because the last time I trusted our family with money, I lost everything. September 10th. My parents started calling Rachel. She didn't answer. September 12th, they showed up at her door. You saw her, didn't you? My mother said. She's been poisoning you. Rachel said, I requested my medical records. There was no surgery. You lied. You stole. My father stepped forward. We borrowed money. That's normal. Rachel, get out. They left. She forwarded their texts to me. Saved everything. September 20th. My parents hired a private investigator off Craigslist. Sloppy. One of my employees got a weird call. I knew immediately. By October 2nd, the PI sent my father an email. Your daughter operates Hayes Audio Network under alias J.S. Hayes. Company valued $7.5 million plus. She has resources. October 10. My mother left a voicemail. I hadn't heard her voice in 7 years. We know about your company. $7.5 million. You owe us. You'll do the right thing, or everyone will know what kind of selfish daughter you really are. You have 1 week. Then my father emailed. We are requesting $80,000. Failure to comply will result in legal remedies, including public disclosure and an elder neglect complaint. I forwarded everything to my attorney, Rebecca. This is extortion, I said. I can bury them. Long pause. Then, do it. October 12th. I met Rebecca at her office. Opened the insurance folder. Bank receipt. Voicemail transcript. Screenshots of blocked contacts. Rachel's medical records. The extortion voicemail. The email threats. Rachel's recordings of my parents at her door. A timeline I'd been updating since 2018. Rebecca leaned back. This is airtight. Fake medical emergency is wire fraud. The elder neglect claim is baseless. You have 12 shots. They have 0. November 1st. My parents filed an elder neglect complaint with Lancaster County. A caseworker called. I explained. No contact in 7 years at their instigation. Parents are 58 and 56, not elderly. I have evidence of extortion. November 3rd. Case closed. The caseworker apologized. November 8th. Rebecca sent a 47-page cease and desist. Bank records, voicemails, emails, medical records. Rachel's testimony, the final sentence. Any further contact will result in immediate criminal extortion charges and civil claims exceeding $500,000. You have 72 hours. 3 days of silence. Then, November 11th, my father called. Please, we just want to talk. You stole $15,000 from me. You threatened to destroy my business. What's left to talk about? He begged for a meeting. Fine. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Starbucks in Lancaster. Rachel will be there. I'm recording everything. November 12th, 10:15 a.m. Rachel and I sat at a corner table. 2 phones recording. My parents walked in at 10:18. Late. Intentional. My mother's eyes were red. My father's hands shook. Jessica, sweetheart. I cut her off. In March 2018, you called. You said Rachel needed emergency surgery. You needed $15,000. I sent it. 3 days later, you blocked me. Rachel never had surgery. You lied. You stole. Then last month, you threatened to extort more money. I have recordings. I have evidence. I slid Rebecca's letter across the table. We borrowed it, my father said. Families borrow. You lied about Rachel dying. You blocked me. That's theft and fraud. My mother looked up. You're really going to destroy us? Rachel spoke before I could. You destroyed yourselves. My father turned on her. Rachel said, there was no surgery. You used my name to con her. I'm done. My mother started crying. Real tears. My father's voice cracked. You're going to destroy your own family over money? I looked him in the eye. You destroyed this family in 2017 when you chose Rachel over me at my own graduation. In 2018 when you stole from me. Last month when you tried to extort me. I didn't do this. You did. I stood up. You have 72 hours to confirm you'll never contact me again. Otherwise, I file charges Wednesday morning. We walked out. They didn't follow. November 13th. Rebecca forwarded an email from my parents' attorney. My clients agree to cease all contact with Ms. Jessica Moore, effective immediately. They withdraw all claims. Rebecca's note. They caved. It's over. I read the email 3 times. Then I cried for the first time in 7 years. Relief. November 18th. The Cascade deal finalized. $6.5 million cash hit my business account. I texted Rachel. It's done. She replied, how do you feel? Rich and tired. Mostly tired. You earned it, Jess. Every cent. November 20th. Rachel flew to Portland. I handed her an envelope. Inside, a check for $15,000. This is the money they stole in your name. I'm giving it to you, not because you need it, because it should never have been about money. She hugged me. A real one. I'm sorry I wasn't there sooner. You're here now. That's enough. December 15th. A card arrived from Rachel, handwritten. Thank you for not giving up on me. I'm proud to be your sister. Here's to a new chapter. I hung it on my fridge, first decoration in my apartment. No card from my parents, no call, no text. Silence. That silence used to scare me. Now it sounds like peace. I sit in my apartment. City lights outside the window. Portland rain. On May 13th, 2017, my father told me to find something I was good at. Took me 7 years, but I did. Turns out, I'm really good at building a life without them. I'm good at turning pain into purpose. I'm good at knowing my worth, even when no one else did. They wanted me to disappear. I did, just not the way they expected. I'm 30 years old. I run a company worth millions. I have a sister who finally sees me. I haven't heard from my parents in 5 weeks. I don't think I ever will again. And you know what? I'm okay with that. They wanted me to find something I was good at. I found it. I'm good at being free. And that's the best revenge I could have ever asked for.